Good morning. What have you all been up to in here? You all look like you were having fun already in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's stand and sing.
All right, everybody, here we go. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. You want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see, wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. 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 Each and every day. Put a little love in your heart. All around the world. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
Well done, well done. Thank you for lending all of your beautiful voices this morning, bringing all that love. I'm Reverend Gregory Toole, and I am so glad to be here this morning. What about you? Me too. Wow, this is a great place to be, right? We're putting love in our hearts. We're sending love out from our hearts. We're just letting love. Send some love to someone right now. Just turn to someone and say, I'm sending you love. I'm sending you love. Turn to someone else. Do a 360. I'm sending you all love. Every one of you love. Yes. And for those of you online on YouTube, we're sending love to you too. Let's send the people on YouTube some love right now. Send them some love. Woo! We love you, online viewers. You're so important to us. Thank you for being here in person and online. We have a wonderful service in store for you today. I am just so excited. We're talking about love all this month. We're talking about conscious relationships in the month of February. So, without any further ado, because we'll get to that, I want to call forth, dressed in red for Valentine's Day, I guess, right? Am I right?
You're absolutely right. It's not KC. Trust me, I want to stay on your good side, Reverend.
It's not what?
I'm not dressed for KC. I want to stay on your good
KC?
side.
Oh.
You know, Red's from Philly, right? So we're all Eagles fans, right? At least until we leave the sanctuary.
Jan Mintz from our board to give announcements. This is not KC red, she said. This is Valentine's red.
Is it, guys, can you hear me?
No.
I got the green one, Grant. Now can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, like I say, I'm dressed for Valentine's Day, not for KC. So today our women's circle will be meeting in Richelieu Hall after service for a fun activity. This is news. Our teen center is having a special workshop today. It started at 11 o'clock, led by our wonderful teen center practitioner, Maureen McKinney. If your teen has been wanting to get to know other teens at the center, this is not to be missed. It will be focused on getting to know each other and building community. Any teens interested can join them right now. It started at 11 o'clock. Come on down in your jammies, kids. Come on down. We want you here. Every Sunday, we have a youth program during service for ages 2 to 5, 6 to 10, and teens. Practitioner Elaine Yuzuki is hosting a Spanish-speaking study group with the Ernest Holmes book in Spanish, This Thing Called You, every Thursday from noon till 1 o'clock. Come and join us this Thursday, the 13th, at 6 p.m. for Ecstatic Dance. We are excited to announce that we have flyers for Michael Pascal Meditation, the Vegan Potluck, and our concert and dance party at our activity table. For a full list of activities, see the weekly e-newsletter, Spirit Speaks magazine, and the activity table. Also at the activity table are handouts for the Season of Nonviolence, which started January 30th, and the flyer for the Bears of Love collection in February for this month. An Angel Project update, because you know that's me, you guys. We received a lovely letter and cards from the Carson Family Center thanking us for bringing holiday cheer to 20 families in their community. The letter and cards are available to read at the front desk, at the foyer. And read the letter, you guys, because we touched some families, cancer, deportation, separation, those families have been through it all. So they were very, very grateful to have our help. And if you would like prayer for something in your life, please come to the front of the sanctuary by the piano after service. One of our practitioners will lead a prayer circle. You may also place a prayer request in the prayer box out in the foyer. If you're here for the first time, we have a thank you gift for honoring us with your presence. So if you raise your hand, our ushers, no, that's me. Our ushers will bring you a thank you gift bag. Anybody here for the first time? Well, thank you so much for joining us. Let's just bring it right on down. And if you're too shy to raise your hand, that's okay. You can pick up a bag out in the foyer after service. Thank you. Anybody else? Awesome. And a big thank you to our wonderful volunteers. We could not do all this without you, and we appreciate you so very, very much. And now we'll have some meditative music to lead us into our invocation. Thank you.
I would invite you all to close your eyes and turn within for a minute. Take a deep breath. Spirit's presence is in everything. All creation is miraculous. Every single person is holy. Every single being is holy. Spirit's presence is in everything. All creation is miraculous. Every single person is holy. Every single being is holy. Even in the tiniest blade of grass I see God. Even in the tiniest grain of sand I feel God. Even in the scent upon the air I smell God, for God is everywhere. Spirit's presence is in everything. All creation is miraculous. Every single person is holy. Every single being is holy.
Every single person is holy. You and I and we and all, every single person is holy, divine, a divine emanation of the one infinite Spirit of God, of divine, of goodness. In truth, we are good to the core. This morning, we let go of all ideas to the contrary about ourselves and about others. And we come into the awareness that God truly is all there is, and that every being is a divine expression of that one. No matter how lost they may appear, no matter how far astray they may appear, or no matter how far astray we may appear, we are holy, we are divine, we are good to the core. This morning we embrace that, knowing this one divine presence is expressing through and as us. And this morning we open our hearts, we open up our entire being to experience the presence right where we are. The presence that has never deserted us, the presence that has never seen us as anything other than whole, perfect, and complete, no matter what anyone has ever told us or what we have ever told ourselves. This morning we open ourselves up to that infinite divine love within that is just waiting to fill us up, that is just waiting to heal all of those places in us that feel less than whole. This morning we let love have its way. I am so grateful for this awareness, so grateful for this truth, so grateful for the way that love is showing up as each one of us. In gratitude, I release this word. Knowing it is done, knowing all is well, I let it be, and we establish it together with the words, and so it is.
I always thought that codependency was an AA thing until I signed up to do Reverend Gregory's class on conscious loving. So when I saw today's title, who, me? Codependent? I would have said no before the class. Little different now. On page 10 of the book, Conscious Loving, Gay and Kathleen Hendricks serve a series of suggestions that will help us understand how codependency manifests in our lives. On page 10, in spite of your best efforts, people around you do not change their bad habits. You have difficulty allowing others to feel their feelings. You do not let yourself feel the full range of your feelings. You're out of touch with one or more of feelings such as anger, fear, or sadness. Anger is particularly a problem for you, and you'll find it hard to admit that you're angry, and you have trouble expressing it to other people. You criticize, or you get criticized frequently. You have a strong, nagging internal critic that keeps you feeling bad, even in moments when you should be feeling good. You try to control other people to get them to feel and be a certain way, and you spend a lot of energy trying to avoid being controlled by others. Your arguments tend to recycle. Conflicts are temporarily ended by one person apologizing and promising to do better. In arguments, a lot of energy is spent trying to prove you're right and the other person's wrong. Did I hear a little mutter there? You frequently agree to do things you don't want to do, and you feel bad about it, but you say nothing. And people seem not to keep their agreements with you. So in summary, if you're putting other person's needs before your own all the time, feeling the need for others' approval to feel good about yourself, having trouble saying no or not asking for what you want or need, Are you feeling guilty for doing things for yourself? You're experiencing difficulty being independent and you're feeling uncomfortable spending time alone or doing things that you enjoy. Guess what? If, like me, you recognize a yes somewhere in there, you'll enjoy more clarity about finding a way through all this when Reverend Gregory shares his wisdom and experience with us. And so it is.
All right, everyone, I'd love to welcome our fantastic and wonderful and terrific, awesome favorite guest soloist, Andrea Lane. Woo!
Polly. Okay, Polly. Thank you, Paul. Yeah. Yeah. You are my shepherd. Yeah. Yeah. You are my everything. I am your child. I am your child. In whom you are well pleased. Many are called, but few choose. Many are called, but few choose. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Choose love. Yeah. You're the one. You're the one to stand bold-faced in front of your fears. You're the one. You're the one to just love, 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 love. Many are called, but few choose. Many are called, but more and more are choosing it though. Yes. Yes. La 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 la. La 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 la. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Right here, right now. Choose love. Choose love. Hey. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Choose love. Choose it, choose it. Are you noticing more people are choosing love these days? Are you noticing that? Because I'm noticing that more and more of us are choosing love, right? Sing it with me, here we go. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Choose it, choose it, choose love. Yeah, sorry band, I threw that at the band. You know, we got some amazing players here. Yeah, your love is amazing.
Andrea Lane. Let's hear it for Andrea Lane once again. Beautiful, beautiful. Got Billy Shank over there on the guitar. And of course, our beloved Elise on keyboard. So good to be here with all of you. And gosh, let's see, where do I want to begin today? I want to begin talking about something I feel really good about Centers for Spiritual Living. You know, I feel really good about who we are, not just locally here, but globally, because, you know, Centers for Spiritual Living has about 400 centers around the world. We are one of them here. And this month is Black History Month, and I feel so good that our organization has had a diverse set of ministers forever. You know, before it was cool. You know, we had black ministers, women ministers, gay ministers, lesbian ministers. We have at least one or more transgender ministers today. So I just love that we are living, you know, we're living this teaching, you know what I mean? Because if we're going to say God is all there is and everyone is divine, then we have to really honor how everyone shows up, yes? Yeah, so I love it that this is truly a place where you are loved for who you are, and you are seen for who you are, and we know that you are divine right where you are. Are you all with me in that? And I was having a chuckle because I was like, a couple of people have asked me, so like, what's your ethnicity? What's your ethnic background to me? And I'm like, don't they know they hired a black minister? Do they not know? Is this going to be like Sidney Poitier and guess who's coming to dinner? I'm glad you all are laughing. That means you know. Okay, I'm like, okay. That's a great movie, by the way. When Sidney Poitier died a few years ago, I went back and watched that movie from 1967. That's an amazing movie, and they go there. Like, they totally go there and deal with the issue of race at that time in 1967. I really highly recommend going back, and Sidney Poitier is a great actor, was a great actor. So anyway, that's... Thank you, Reverend. All right, glad we got that out of the way. They're like, what kind of name is Toole? See, we can have fun together here, right? So, thank you to Reverend Kathy, wherever she is out there. There she is over there, for really laying out very clearly sort of what codependency is. And I'll share a couple. Before I do that, though, I want to remind you all that Ecstatic Dance is this coming Thursday. And Ryan, I think I saw Ryan out there. Did I see Ryan out there? Did I see there? Oh, he's in the back. He's in service. He's up back there working the sound. Ryan is our DJ again, and so we're going to have a good time. I actually did Ecstatic Dance last night myself. I overdid it, though, because I played tennis in the morning and then Ecstatic Dance in the evening. So if you see me walking a little gingerly up the stairs, then you'll know why. All right, so let me read a couple definitions here. One from the Oxford Languages Dictionary on codependency. It says excessive emotional or psychological reliance on a partner, or I would say on any other person, right? So our reference is external. We have this excessive dependency outside of ourselves. In the book Conscious Loving, they say codependence is an agreement between people to stay locked in unconscious patterns. So it's an unconscious agreement to stay locked in unconscious patterns. In other words, if you let me get away with all my bad stuff, I'll let you get away with all your bad stuff. If you don't call me on my stuff, I won't call you on your stuff. And let's just play small, and let's just have a relationship where we don't have to grow, we don't have to expand, we don't have to face ourselves. The opposite of that they define as co-commitment. And in co-commitment, they say, is an agreement to become more conscious, an agreement to become more conscious. So that's where we want to be, yeah? That's where we are. That's how we show up in Centers for Spiritual Living. And I was talking to someone at Starbucks, I think it was yesterday, or maybe the day before, and it was a very interesting conversation because I was talking about who we are and what we do, and it was a person who goes to a more traditional church, and you know, we take for granted, I think, sometimes that what we do here, that like we're growing and we're learning and we're on a path and we're discussing how we're growing. And this woman was like, whoa, you all don't stay on the surface, huh? And it was just very interesting seeing it from a different, because I don't ever really think much about it. I just think this is the natural way to be, that we're all growing and learning together and on this path together. So it was so interesting seeing it through her eyes, where she was kind of blown away. She was kind of like, whoa, I don't know if she's going to come here. Right? Because not everyone is at that point yet where they're ready to be on a journey like this, where they're ready to grow and face themselves and see what needs to be seen. But in co-committed relationship or conscious relationship, it's really about the conscious relation. The unconscious relationship is about keeping each other small, and we feel safe because we're keeping each other small. The conscious relationship is really about the growth of each person. We're committed to our own growth, and we're committed to the other person or person's growth. Right? Does that sound like us? We're committed to each other's growth, even when it makes us feel uncomfortable. Right? Because if you're in like a partner relationship, right, an intimate relationship, and your partner starts to grow, what might happen for you? What might you start to feel if your partner starts to really grow and soar? And even us on the conscious path, what could happen? Start to fear you're going to be left behind, right? Start to fear that like, oh, this person won't want you anymore, right? But in the conscious relationship, we simply acknowledge that. We simply acknowledge that I feel afraid. I feel afraid as you're growing that you won't want me anymore. And this person can say, I still want to be with you. Or they could say, no, I don't, right? But we're not trying to hold on to someone under false pretenses. And the good thing about conscious relationship, because we're each committed to each other's growth, it's not about fear. Right? Because the same way that they're committed to their growth, we're committed to our growth. The fear probably is only there if they're committed to their growth, but we're not committed to ours. Like, we're trying to stay the same, and they're growing all over the place. But when we're both committed to our growth, it becomes an exciting journey, right? It becomes an exciting journey of just, constantly, daily, day by day, sharing the ways that we're learning, the ways that we're growing. Who learns once a week? Who learns once a year? And who learns once a day? Who learns once a day? Every day. Who learns once every minute? Like, this is how we're really growing here, right? So in conscious relationship, it's really this space where we're cheering each other on. We're cheering each other on. We're wanting each other to grow. We're wanting each other to expand. We're wanting each other to be the best selves that we are. Life is not trying to be small through any of us. Life is not trying to be small through any of us. Life is wanting constantly to push out on the edges of us, to express a newness, to express something greater. In a conscious relationship, we recognize that. In a conscious relationship, we're cultivating that. We're cultivating that with each other. We're really cultivating each other's growth. We're really standing there cheering each other on so that a conscious relationship, our life gets better, right? In an unconscious relationship, our life might even contract, right? It could even contract in an unconscious relationship. Because on your own, at least you're trying to do something, but now you've got someone that's tugging you back and pulling you back. Anyone ever had that? In codependency, there are victims. And one of the ways the authors describe codependency is that it's a battle to see who is the biggest victim. Right? And we laugh at that, but in a way, we probably can see ourselves in that at times in our own relationships, right? Where we're like, are you kidding me? Look how you treat me. What? Look how you treat me. I am so good to you, and look what you... We can fall into that, right? Which is a battle to be the victim. But in conscious relationship, the authors say there's no room for victims because everyone is taking full 100% responsibility for their experience. Sound like science of mind? Yeah, we're all taking 100% responsibility for our experience, and therefore there's no room for victims. And so now, here's for the big prize of the day. Instead of who's right and who's wrong, which is the unconscious relationship, right? We're being victims, or, who's right, who's wrong, who's right, who's wrong. What is for the prize of the day, what is and Mark, you got the prize last time, so you're going to have to not play this time. Save it for Vegas. What is the little pithy phrase that captures what we do in the conscious relationship instead of who's right, who's wrong? Uh-oh, wait, I hear someone else other than Mark. There you go. It's all in that household. It's all in the Ruth household here. It wasn't Mark, but his wife. They got it, see? Feelings, needs, and wants. Oh, my. Feelings, needs, and wants. Oh, my. Say that with me. Feelings, needs, and wants. Oh, my. Feelings, needs, and wants. Oh, my. Now, next time I ask that question, I really hope that 50 people are chomping at the bit ready to answer it, because it is so critical for us to get that. It is so critical for us to get that replacement of the argument that says who's right and who's wrong, which is the ultimate codependent argument, but also is the very common argument that we have. Not just in our intimate relationships, but in our, what happens when two friends that or two people are in an argument. You start to think, let's see, who do I think is right? And who do I think is wrong? And then we tell them, well, I think he's right. Well, I think she's right. I remember being in a relationship where we had an argument based on someone else's argument. There was a car accident, and one driver was a man and one driver was a woman, and I said, I think he's right. And she said, no, I think she's right, and we got into an argument. That was a long time ago. Days ago. No. So in a conscious relationship, we replace that who's right and who's wrong with understanding that in a conflict, someone's needs or wants or values aren't being met, and there's something that person is feeling. So instead of who's right and who's wrong, we don't even go there. And then when we start to go there, and it can happen, because I tell you, I've been practicing this, and I find sometimes my mind still wants to go there. My mind still wants to go to who's right and who's wrong. And then, of course, I remember and go, oh, no, let's not do that. So we go to, what are you feeling right now? And what are you needing or wanting? Or is there something you value, something that's important to you, that you're not getting? And we explore it from that place. So in essence, then, there doesn't even have to be a conflict. Because there's not really, usually when we think of a conflict, we think like this, right? But in this mode, what we call a conflict is really just, let's discover what each one is needing here and wanting. And let's discover how we're feeling. Yes? Who was that? Maybe, okay, maybe. That's an opening. That's an opening. Maybe's an opening. It's not a no. It's up to us how we do this, right? It's up to us how we do this thing called life, this thing called relationship. The beautiful thing about being in that conscious relationship instead of the codependent relationship is that the relationship really starts to expand each person. And so what begins to happen is that each person is better than they would be on their own because of the synergies that are happening there. Like you're supporting them in being the greatness that they are, they're supporting you in being the greatness that you are, and there starts to be this thing that starts to build where maybe even you start to have synergies and co-create, where you start to create together because of the synergies that you're discovering and each one growing and each one expanding into your greatest self. And then maybe we start to surround ourselves with those people who are ready to be in the co-committed, co-creative, conscious relationships. How many of you are doing that? Surrounding yourself. I mean, you are right here, right? You're surrounding yourself with conscious people right here. But I love when I get together, because pretty much I only surround myself in the close relationships I have with people who are conscious. It's so sweet, right? Because I grew up in Philadelphia, and in Philadelphia it can be a kind of a harsh place. Like even with the Eagles in the Super Bowl, right? They're like, yeah, well, we'll see. Philadelphians can be a little bit harsh, And so growing up there, you say, oh, I want to do this. And they go, yeah, right, you're going to do that. Sure. So I grew up around a lot of that. And so when I came into Centers for Spiritual Living and found all of this affirmation, like the first time that I said, most of you know that I left a corporate career and came into Science of Mind, left a corporate career, bold move to leave this career where I was climbing the ladder in Silicon Valley and all that sort of thing. If I would have told some of my friends from previous life, there would have been no support. I would have been on my own. When I came into my Centers for Spiritual Living class and said, today I wanted to submit my resignation and I couldn't do it. I was too scared to do it. And everyone just said, you can do it, which was totally different to me because in this corporate realm I was in this climb the ladder world I was in, everyone would be just like, don't follow your heart, follow your mind, So how beautiful to be fully affirmed, fully supported. And then when I did, I came back the next week, right? And I said, oh, they encouraged me, but now they're going to say, you fool. But I came back the next week and said, all right, I did it. And they all cheered. They all cheered me on. This is what it's like to be around conscious people who really see you for who you are and who really affirm you for who you are and aren't playing small themselves and aren't playing from a fear-based place. So now they can see your greatness and they're willing for you to see their greatness, and it's just a spiral that starts to happen where by being in that relationship, it accelerates your spiritual path. Kind of like being in spiritual community. I was on a path for many years by myself before coming into CSL, and it was like I was growing a little bit. But then coming in here and being around all of these conscious people 30 years ago when I walked in the Center for Spiritual Living, the growth just accelerated by being around other conscious people who could mirror to me the truth of who I am and who could tell me when I started to shrink into the smallness of myself, when I started to not know the truth of who I was, would remind me of who I am. Is that what we do for each other here? Yeah, we do. We remind each other. And one thing that I want to encourage us not to do is not to jam each other up around the teaching, right? As we get the teaching, right, one of the things that can become harmful is that when we get the teaching, we're creating our own life, we're powerful beings, right? Our thoughts matter, but then when someone comes in and they say, oh, I was sick, and you go, oh, well, what were you thinking, right? I want to encourage us not to do that because that creates an unsafe environment, right? That creates an environment where maybe I'll just stay home. Maybe if I have something going on in my life that's not going well, maybe I'll just stay away for a while. And I'll come back when everything is going well, because I know those science of mind people expect everything to be going well. So I really want to have a community that's safe, right? And the only one that we have to look at what we were thinking is ourselves. For others, unless they ask us, right? If they ask us, what do you think is the shift I need to make in consciousness, then we might offer something. But otherwise, we just offer love and compassion. So that's part of this conscious journey here together, that we're loving each other through it. We're loving each other along this path. The other side of that, Kathy Hearn, Dr. Kathy Hearn, who was the spiritual leader of one of the Science of Mind organizations before we came back together as one, when we were putting the two back together, and it was a very involved and at times tense, and people could really get triggered because, you know, I'm cutting this story way short, but our organization, you know, 60 plus years ago had split apart and stayed apart for like 50 years until about, you know, a little more than 10 years ago. And I was part of this team along with Dr. Kathy Hearn to bring it back together. So you can imagine two organizations that were split up for 50 years trying to get back together. There's all kinds of things that you value and think are important. And Kathy Hearn had this phrase that she would say is that we're growing up all over each other. We're growing up all over each other. And that's what we do in community here. That's what we do in community, right? Because you're growing, I'm growing. This is what we do in relationship, right? Because you're growing, I'm growing, we're all growing. And so our triggers sometimes are up. Our triggers are up. So growing up all over each other means that sometimes my trigger is going to be up and your trigger is going to be up at the same time. So we get to be with each other in all of that. Yes? Yes. Yeah, we get to be with each other in all of that and create really healthy community with healthy relationships. We're going to talk more about that in the next couple weeks because there's so much more I want to go into about what this looks like to be in not only healthy one-on-one relationship, but healthy relationship in community. So I invite you this day and this week to really be in that space of your wholeness, be in that space of recognizing others' wholeness, and be in that space of welcoming people in your life that are going to lift you up, and being that person that's going to lift everyone else up, and just being in that conscious space. And I know that's what you all are doing. So thank you so much for listening today. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to bring back Andrea Lane, Billy Shank.
Thank you. Big star, dark night, way up in the open sky. Full moon, super moon, for just one more night. There's a chance we're on a new road. I'm calling it good. It's a brand new day. Big hopes, big dreams for peace and clarity. Everything seemed to be blown to dust. but I choose to rise again. I'm calling it good. It's a brand new day. I choose to rise again. I choose a brand new day. Nights are getting colder, my dreams are getting bolder. I keep on getting up again, over and over, 'cause I choose to rise again. I'm calling it good. It's a brand new day. I choose to rise again. I choose brand new day. And I'll never, 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 never give up. 'Cause I keep on, keep on, keep on living my dream. I can hear the sound of the universe. I can hear her breathe. And I'll never, 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 never give up. 'Cause I keep on, keep on, keep on living my dream. And I'll never, 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 never give up. 'Cause I keep on, keep on, keep on living my dream. My dream.
Andrea Lane and Billy Shank and Elise Carver. Yay. Beautiful, beautiful. I like Andrea. You got a lot of style, you know. You got flair and style in addition to an amazing voice. We're so fortunate here, and many of you may have noticed that our plumbing project is coming to a close. There are no trailers on the parking lot anymore. We've got bathrooms in Richelieu, and Grant, are the bathrooms out here working too? Soon. All right, well, we've got bathrooms in Richelieu. I'm staying with that, in Richelieu Hall. It's getting really good here. It's getting really good, and we're going to get back to our normal way of doing things. It'll be even more beautiful than it was. So thank you for the ways that you support the community. And we have listed up here in a moment all the many different ways that you can support Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. And we appreciate you. You can text to 424-379-3733. You can also go to the website, redondocsl.org/donate, or you can use the QR code. And for those of you online, same options, as well as writing a check or cash are always good as well. And we really support it. We're all doing this together. We're all in this together, and we're building something here. We're building something really beautiful for not only ourselves, but for others who will come along and benefit from the transformational activities that we offer. So thank you. And let us do our affirmation together as we hold our gift in our hand and we hold our hand to our heart. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is. Yes.
Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, I'm grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, God is all there is.
Yes, God is all there is. So, you know, with things like the Super Bowl, when we do prayer, we need to be neutral. We have to be neutral, right? So my prayer that I'm sure you all will share with me is, may the best team win that has green, that wears green, and it's from Philadelphia. Green, I got my green on. And I know your red is for Valentine's Day. Let's rise and do a little bit of prayer here. So I invite you to repeat after me if it feels good. I show up in my relationships. I show up in the fullness of who I am. I welcome others to show up in the fullness of who they are. I tell the truth. We're going to talk about that next week, by the way. A different kind of truth. We're talking about the microscopic truth next week. So. My relationships are nurturing. They're nurturing for me. They're nurturing for everyone I am with. We expand each other. We mirror each other's magnificence. Through my relationships, I am transforming myself. I am transforming all in my life. I am transforming the world. I let love reign supreme. And so it is. Yes. All right. If it's comfortable for you, I invite you to join hands with your neighbor. We'll sing the peace song. I invite the ministers and practitioners to join me on the stage.
Let